Brothers. Breed Brothers.
All right, guys. We're back with another Breed Brothers episode. Here with my brothers, Johnny Ray, Dwayne, Tommy, and myself, Lee. Today we're going to have some great subjects to talk about. Some entertainment from Mr. Tommy, I'm sure.
What? Who? No, allegedly.
Our producer's going to throw out a few things for us to chat about. So, Tyrone, take it away.
Pardon me while I whip this out. Okay.
Tyrone.
Just like on the porn set.
Okay. They're like, all right, look, you guys, y'all been to concerts, right?
Yes.
Have anybody here not been to a concert?
I went to John Denver once.
We got John Denver, Cher, Captain Camille,
Share 5 times.
Celine Dion. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, sorry, Tyrone.
So music.
All right. What is the best concert you've ever been to? Mine is simple. Mine is
Simple Minds?
No, I wish I'd have seen Simple Minds, but Ted Nugent was the best concert I felt I'd ever been to because I could not even hear anything when I walked out of there, and it was just an on-stage presence that was incredible.
Now, were you at Austin at the community center?
Yes.
Austin Community Center?
Yes.
Coliseum.
Yes, I was.
You guys go
Now,
together?
that's
Was it the
very-
Coliseum?
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't remember where it was. I was drunk.
Was that what it was called? I thought it was Awesome Community Center.
I
Is
don't
it
know,
the
I was
Coliseum?
drunk.
It wasn't the Frank Irwin Center, not the Drum.
No, it's the
We saw- it was in-
Coliseum.
I thought it
Okay,
was
yeah.
in-
Who
Where they had
opened
all
up?
the
Their
wrestling
Iron
matches.
Eagle opened up.
No, well, yeah, and
then Wasp?
and Wasp, and
then Ted
and
Nugent.
Blackie Lawless
Iron Eagle.
wore these tights with no underwear.
The
It
Iron
was
Eagle,
horrible.
if I'm correct, was the band that went on to become Bullet Boy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not positive.
Did they do
Way
Smooth Up
wrong.
In Ya? Smooth Up In Ya.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I was at that same concert. I don't know if you remember.
I know, I do remember.
Yeah, I remember being. I fought
Crushed.
my way to the front,
Then we got crushed.
and Blackie Lawless was there, and
We tried to fight our way to the back.
well, I didn't. I stayed up front. You guys wished out on it because this was an incredible concert for me
It was,
also.
it was.
But I have multiple stories here.
You got bit.
So hold on. So I get up there and Blackie Lawless is wearing black leotards,
Yes.
right, like pantyhose.
Yeah, I know.
You
underwear.
could see through them, and he was not wearing underwear,
It was horrible.
underwear
Underwear.
at all. You could see he was circumcised.
Yeah.
I knew that for sure. And
It was
sure
clear.
is.
It was
You could
clear
see
as
it,
day.
but-
Yeah, it was clear.
But yeah, I was up on the barricade there,
Yeah.
and
I was up there for a little while with you.
I got scraped.
And I remember.
from my wrist to my elbow, and I was pouring blood out of my right arm. And I did something. I think I elbowed some chick behind me, and she bit me.
she
I
bit
had-
you in the back right there.
I had
Yeah.
teeth marks in my back, but I clawed my way up onto
better than a
I got
t-shirt.
up onto the stage,
Whoa.
and a guy tried to come push me off the stage. He was old fat y'all, but
Wait,
I actually made it up onto the stage. I got a pick from Ted Nugent, and then I jumped off the stage and went and took a break.
That was an incredible concert. It really was. It was so loud. When Blackie Lawless and Wasp, they were loud. But when Ted got on, it's like they cranked the volume up beyond anything you could deal with as a human, right? It was just
But
so
here's the other thing.
crazy.
I don't know if you remember this. When he was singing "Little Miss Dangerous,"
Yes.
there was a girl that was up
Humping
there.
on the stage. Yes.
You remember the night before, or a couple of nights before, when we were at I think it was Jeremiah's Wood Nickel. I don't know. It's where they had all the strippers there.
Yes, I do.
She was one of the strippers.
Oh my God.
And I remember specifically her because I went up to her and said, "Hey, can I have a kiss?" And she's like, "No, you can't."
I remember that.
She was,
I
and
remember
she
that.
was the one that he was making out with up there on the stage.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn, that was crazy. That was a crazy concert.
had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't as fun as the one where Ozzy Osbourne. You had a ticket to go, and you didn't want to go. You wanted the money instead because we were scalping tickets back.
I
then.
remember.
And Metallica was opening up.
That was bad.
We were on the 15th row. Our tickets were on the 15th row.
Yeah.
When the lights went out, we rushed the stage. We got up to first row.
Wow.
And Metallica's opening up, and Metallica's playing, and there's this guy in front of us, right? And he's just doing this head bang in his head, chugga, 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 right? And he would stop, and I would hit him in the back, and then he would keep going, chugga, 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 chugga. And I noticed this a couple of times. He'd chugga, 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 and stop, and I bam him in the back, chugga, chugga, chugga. And Matt was there, and I was like, dude, watch this. And he chugga, chugga, chugga. Bam! Chugga, 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 chugga. It was hilarious.
Like a robot.
The whole night. Chugga, 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 and he stopped. Bam! Chugga, 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 chugga.
It's like an animal, you know.
It's like a little the little bunny with the ching 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 ching.
That is funny.
Crazy train.
Yeah, Carrie and I have been to a couple of other concerts. We went to see Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Snoop Dogg opened up for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh,
I know,
shit.
and it was freaking amazing. He had a hype man who was in this like lime green suit that was walking around with a cane while Snoop Dogg was doing his thing, and he's just walking around with the cane. He was a hype man. He would repeat things that Snoop was saying. It was absolutely hilarious. And that day was we had a torrential downpour. And what's that place that used to be out next to Retama Park? It was a
No, that was Verizon.
Verizon.
The Verizon Center, right?
It's a Verizon. Well, that's where the concert was,
Yeah.
and it's partially covered.
Right.
And we were at the very back of it. The last 4 or 5 rows are covered. We were in those 4 or
Yeah.
5 rows, and rain was coming down so hard that it was insane. It was like torrential rain happening through almost the entire concert. We stayed. It was fantastic, though.
Wow.
Depeche Mode, we watched them recently too, and they were really, really good. Their guitarist is, I was like, holy crap. I didn't think, you don't think about guitar with Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Keyboards.
Yeah.
That's
And holy shit, he got out there just wailing. But anyway, it's good stuff. What's the best
interesting.
concert?
I would have never thought about that with Depeche Mode.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed
It'd
it.
be 2 guys and a keyboard.
Well, I know. The guy with the guitarist wore
Marco.
something like something out of a S&M video, right? Where he's got all this leather bullshit on and straps all over his body. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, man? I was like, oh shit. Yeah, it's crazy. What's the best concert you guys have been to? Johnny Ray, you tell me.
I think the best concert I went to overall was probably Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, wow.
I saw them at the Majestic. This was like the early 90s.
Yeah.
And they didn't have an open act. They actually had a comedian that came out and talked, or this poet. I forget what he was. He wasn't a comedian, but it was different because normally you have an open band or something, but there was actually somebody who came out and just talked.
Yeah.
But it was there was a lot going on. It was really good. There was 12 people and 3 dancers on the stage, you know.
Just the presence, because you've seen them, I've seen them in videos, right? Just the presence of them
Oh,
on stage is incredible.
I saw
Yeah.
them. Susie and I saw them in West Texas
West Texas.
not too long ago, actually.
Wow.
And it was hit after hit after
Yep.
hit.
Oh, yeah.
We were the 2 white people there, surrounded by a sea of not white people.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's singing every song, and the people are looking at her like. And yeah, it was just,
I think-
amazing. It was a great concert. You're right.
I think that was like the best overall show that I've seen. The best sounding one was George Benson. The most enjoyable one, I saw Rush in 03, I guess it was. Somewhere around there.
You were
And then
3?
03.
Oh.
Yeah, I was 3, but I didn't see Rush. And then I think the coolest one in terms of like overall, I went to I saw Disturbed at Ozfest. I took Max. He was like, because he was all into System of a Down.
Yeah.
So I took him to Ozfest because he wanted to see the System of a Down. And so Disturbed came out there and they just totally rocked it. And I didn't know who Disturbed was.
Yeah.
And the next day, I went and bought all the CDs that they had
Nice.
out because it was so good. And the singer was like, he stopped like at the end of the song, and normally, you know, hey, how you guys doing? Blah 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 blah. He was actually saying, you know, look at this motherfucker down here. He's in a wheelchair in the mosh pit, and he's like, you know what? Get him up here. And he had all the security pick this guy up in his wheelchair, put him on the stage, and had him sit on the stage the entire concert and watch it.
That's
I was
badass.
like, that's cool.
That is badass. That's badass. Dwayne, your best concert experience?
I have had a lot of concert experiences, so it's really hard for me to just pick any one specifically out. Each one of them have wonderful memories. Like the time I saw Cinderella in Japan, and I dressed up in my fluorescent yellow leopard stripe spandex pants, and I had my wig on, and I had these leather boots on.
You still
and I
have
had
that,
the-
right?
I don't. I wish I did that. But, you know, after the concert, people thought we were part of the band, which
Oh,
was
wow.
totally cool. You know, I remember the time Dokken was playing. Saw Dokken, and it was in Japan also. And I remember specifically there was a point in the concert where there was like a lull. And I did my 2-finger whistle, and it was loud, loud, loud. And I was close to the soundboard where they were, you know, mixing
Yeah.
the audio from. And when the album came out, I think it was the Beast from the East live album, you could hear me in that one part on the album.
Oh, that's awesome. That is badass.
So I always thought that was pretty cool.
No credits, no royalties. So, but you got
No, yeah, no,
I
no,
want a royalty for that whistle.
just me saying that. It could have been some feedback.
You got it now.
But, yeah, no, just I've had a lot of great concerts in Japan, and most recently, you know, we've gone to a lot of
I've
concerts.
seen that. You've been going to like
And
Stone.
Billy Idol was an amazing
Right.
concert just recently in Vegas, and we were close, and it was great.
So you still got it, Billy Idol does.
He still has it, and
That's
it was wonderful. And Steve Stevens did a great job. Yeah, and his leather pants were really tight. And you could tell his religion. I'll tell you, when you're not
There's a
asking,
theme
is the
here.
most disappointing concert. Even though it was a great concert with
Yeah.
the Rolling Stones.
Really?
Yeah, they're woke.
Oh, no joke.
No joke. Yeah, they were making some political comments that just didn't.
God. So they're not there to entertain.
Yeah.
That
No,
stinks.
no, and they allowed the Rolling Stones allowed cancer culture into their set when they didn't play Brown Sugar.
Oh man.
What the?
They didn't. That's one of their most, you know,
That's an iconic.
iconic
song,
songs,
yeah.
and they
It's an
wouldn't
iconic
play
song.
it because hey, there were some slave references in it.
Oh my God.
So, but there you go. But
Well-
yeah, I've seen a lot.
Woke culture ruins shit. Everything woke turns to shit.
Go,
Anyway.
go,
It'll
go.
all circle
Yep.
back, I guess.
Well, Tommy, what is your favorite concert ever?
The Coliseum in
Okay.
Austin, and it was Armored Saint, Wasp, and Metallica on the Ride the Lightning tour.
Wow.
Got out of the nosebleed section to go down to the floor, and had to walk around the people trying to make babies in the crowd as I was. So I was just like, well, this is a better show than that one. And again, it was a Blackie Lawless thing. He was wearing the bandsaw blade.
Oh God.
Like, come on, dude.
What is it with Blackie? I don't.
He's
He's,
a
he's just
freak.
wanting to show his junk off. That's all he's wanting to do because he's blind in Texas. I guess. Who knows? That's awesome. So, what about? I mean, your worst concert. I mean, Al shared his worst concert. What's your worst concert?
Oh, that's a good question. I probably Heart was probably the worst concert I went to, only because they were a good band, and when I went in there with high expectation, like, oh, this is gonna sound great because like Barracuda and all these songs, but it's like they came out and it was like they were trying. Well, it was not loud at all, so it was like you could talk. And
Oh.
it was like, okay, it wasn't like when you go to a concert, you want to feel that
You do.
it's kicking you in the
That's right.
chest.
It's an experience. Yeah.
Exactly. And it wasn't that at all. And, it was like for me, it was like all their stuff from the 70s, Barracuda and Crazy on You, all those iconic songs. They played them, but it was like, this was like 85, 86 when I saw them. So it was like, all the 80s
Yeah.
stuff, and then it was like, it just didn't, I was like, this sucks.
Do it again.
Tommy, your worst?
Oh, you know what? The one that was worse than John Denver was El Puma in the National Coliseum in Panama.
El Puma.
El Puma.
What kind
Is
of
that a
music do
real-
they rock?
Well, it's kind of it's Latin music. not
Traditional Latin or with a rock flair like
it was
like Mana or
very, well, it was like Neil Diamond only in Spanish.
Nice.
Mm.
Very nice.
And the name of the singer was El Puma.
El Puma. So I forgot
Vamos a Tula, Mexico.
I forgot to mention Stevie Ray Vaughan because I did go see Stevie Ray Vaughan New Year's Eve 1980. I think it was 5. Since
Yeah, I was supposed to go to that.
we
one
were
too.
supposed to go to that.
Yeah.
We dressed up in Miami Vice jackets, right? And I'm not joking. Mine was pink, his was white, and we had I think we both had white slacks on, and that slam
Yeah.
Docker type stuff, and we were in that thing. I actually got to high five Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he was like, just kind of like that, just take your fingertips. I was like, that's pretty badass. But yeah, that was a great one for me. I'll never forget that, except for mostly because of the jackets, though. Because that was really embarrassing. Now that I look back on it. Anyway,
Hilarious. I was supposed to be with you guys that night.
I know you were.
So you were talking about Ted Nugent being the loudest concert.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. The loudest concert I ever been to was Hank Williams Jr.
Really?
That is no joke. I was in
Because all his rowdy's friends.
well, and there's another story to that one because I was in AIT. I went in the Army and I was in AIT at Fort Eustis, and somebody said, "Hey, I got an extra ticket to go see Hank Williams," which I was not a fan of country at the time at all. I was like, "Yeah, I'll go." Went, and I think Sawyer Brown opened, which I thought, "Oh, these guys are lousy as shit. They'll never make it." Anyways, but Hank Williams came out, and oh my God, I was in the nosebleed section, and it was just painfully loud. And then he did a center set, middle in terms of the whole concert, little set that he sat in a chair, played guitar, and did an acoustic thing. And he was getting all my rowdy friends have settled down. And you look down, and you could see all these bikers are like in everybody's sitting down on in their seats on the floor, and you see all these bikers kind of huddled up, and then security's telling them, "No, you got to go back," and they just kind of get up there. And as soon as he got into that song, they broke out in a freaking fight right there, just to justify all the rowdy friends have not settled down, But it was
Making their point.
yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
But it was super ass loud.
That's funny. One of the, talking about loud concerts, again, back to Japan.
Loudness?
The loudest concerts I went to was loudness in Japan. Being,
Really?
they put on a show that no one else was allowed to put on because they had pyrotechnics and all kinds of other stuff, and it was a great show.
That's awesome.
At the Budokan?
I don't remember. It should have been the Shibuyan swimming pool. I don't remember. There's just Yokohama, Tokyo, Ububuku or whatever it was. I don't know. Too many places, too many concerts, man.
I feel like music has been such an influence on many of our lives, right? I mean, I remember when we were younger, we would cruise around either in Johnny Ray's green truck, my S10 or my Camaro.
Clunker?
Yeah, Clunker. I love the Clunker. I'm sorry. I loved the Clunker. I don't know why. I still think about that crazy truck today. But
We had to
and
park
the
it on a
green
hill
truck.
so that we could start it.
That's right. But man, it influenced our lives so much, right? Because that's how we kind of bonded together as we were younger. Tommy, what about your experiences?
The loudest concert I went that I probably suffered
Permanent damage?
was Hush Scarlet at the back door on Riverside.
I remember that place. It was
Oh,
crazy.
You said Hush Scarlet, and that I seem to recall that name.
I do
It
too.
was an
I just
awesome
don't- I
band.
just don't remember what. I don't remember any other songs.
Austin, well, Hush Scarlet, Faster Pussycat, Storyville, and there was a bunch of these awesome.
I remember Faster Pussycat.
So, what about concerts you would have either loved to go to or want to go to now?
I always wanted to go see Rush, but I never got the opportunity.
I missed a concert of my favorite band in the world. I was coming back from boot camp. I think it was coming back from boot camp. And my brother was going to it. And I think he tried to get me to go. And I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I had some things going on. But man, my favorite band of all time, right, was just Van Halen. I had an opportunity to go see Van Halen. Didn't do it
It
though.
was the Sammy Hagar Van Halen, but still.
But still, it was Van Halen.
Yeah,
I
Van
would
Halen.
rather have seen the David Lee Roth Van Halen, obviously. I mean, because that was the Van Halen for me. If there was one concert I regret never seeing, it's definitely Van Halen. How about you?
Van Halen broke up in the middle of mine, right between. I was transitioning from basic to AIT, and they said, "Oh my God, they broke up."
Yeah, that was pretty awful.
A bunch of punk ass 18-year-old infantry soldiers going, "Ooh." Whatever.
I had a ticket
To a jet airplane.
to go see Guns N' Roses
GNR.
in the late 80s before they were tremendously huge in Japan. And they postponed the show. And before I could get to the show, I shipped out. I still have the ticket.
You still have the ticket right now.
Nice.
Oh, really? Wow. That's when he actually had a ticket stub.
Ticket, yeah.
You know,
Not your
on my
phone.
back.
An actual ticket.
Johnny Ray?
I think Van Halen's a good one.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to see them. I think for me, it's always been Judas Priest because I've always been a fan of Judas Priest. Always wanted to see them. Been in about half a dozen locations where they were having a concert. It's like, oh shit, they're in concert, and then I've got something happening and I can't go.
Yeah.
And I think the latest one was when I was in Korea because they were going to come, or it was Korea or Japan. But anyways, they were there, but we were on a mission to go play an event, and it's like, oh son of a bitch, you know, I can't call in sick. It's always been I can't go see him because something came up.
Yeah.
You know, I've always wanted to see him, and I think I will say when he was talking about concerts he missed, and when about Guns N' Roses when they were hyped, I remember I think it was the first concert I ever went to. One of the first was I was in Corpus, and I was cruising by. I was in my green pickup, and I was cruising down Ocean Drive there.
Didn't get towed, did you?
And I saw the Coliseum, and it had Rat in concert, and Bon Jovi opened up for Rat, and I was like, oh, I'll just pull in. I was in shorts and t-shirt, and I just pulled in, went out and bought a ticket, and walked right up to the stage, and it was Bon Jovi. They had the curtains drawn, and Bon Jovi was set up at the front of the stage. And it was like just. It's like, who, Bon Jovi, oh yeah, I remember they got that She's a Little Runaway, that was when they first came out,
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about experiences meeting a musician, a famous musician? What is your biggest experience meeting a famous musician?
I was in Japan.
And what happened?
Japan was a good musical time for you.
Yeah. I saw a lot of good stuff. It's a Hard Rock Cafe in Tokyo.
That's mine too.
2 separate occasions. 2 separate guys. The first one was we're in there, and I'm there just drinking, and there's a group of people there, and we're just talking to this guy. And I didn't, we're just talking. He's a short little guy, looked familiar, and we're talking music and stuff, and I completely unaware who this was, and I'm having a conversation with him, having a beer with him, a couple of other guys. It was fucking Carlos Cavazos of Quiet Riot.
No,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, it was kind of odd that I didn't recognize him right there in front of me because he was short.
Do you remember that's what I wanted my hair like?
Yes,
I wanted my
Yeah.
hair like that guy's hair when I was in high school. I wanted Carlos Cavazos hair, man. Look at, that's what I wanted, man.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
And then another separate time in Japan at the Hard Rock Cafe in Tokyo. Vince Neil came in,
Oh wow.
and they went and had I was with a bunch of Marines, and he went over and sat down with his big ass redneck bodyguard, had a hamburger, and he got up to leave, and we all stood up, and we were yelling and just Vince, but we were maintaining our distance.
Yeah.
And he's walking down, checking us out, not really saying anything. But I'm like, Vince, yeah, check it out. And he punches me in the chest. It was not an angry thing, but like all right, buddy, yeah. But
Nice.
yeah, Vince Neil touched me.
Nice. In Iceland, they opened a Hard Rock Cafe, and they brought the Marines from the Marine barracks to the Hard Rock Cafe the day before, right? Because they wanted to give us a treat, right? There were 4 people there. There were Bjork,
Oh, yeah.
Tom Jones, freaking awesome guy. I'm telling you, he's so fucking awesome. Richie Sambora, also a very awesome human being, and Sebastian Bach. I don't know what he's like. He was collapsed in a booth. He was so drunk, he was collapsed in a booth, and you could tell he had thrown up on himself. He was so messed
Great
up.
time.
And so,
The life of a rock star.
so
yeah.
Richie Sambora, he's so normal. He was like so normal. Tom Jones wasn't normal. He acted like he was bigger than life, right? And he kind of got it, right? But Richie Sambora was so just could have been anybody in this room. It was just that's how he was. And Bjork was just a fucking weirdo. She was just a weirdo. She didn't say maybe 3 words. But he goes, yeah, Bach over there's sick. He says, I remember him saying, I'll never forget that, because the guy was so messed up in that booth. It was really, really gross. But that was my only experience, I guess. Well, and high five and theory on. What about you?
I think I've only had like a couple of them, and one of them I was at a place in Fort Worth, and went to go see the Flock of Seagulls, and it was a big bar there. And anyways, we're getting ready. You got like 3 different venues in the one big bar, So I was playing pool, and the guy said, "Hey, you want to play pool together?" I said, "Sure," So we're playing pool, and I didn't know who the guy was. And we just got to talking, and it's like, where the hell are you from? Because, it's like, you're not from Texas, because I can tell by your accent.
Yeah.
And anyways, he's got this real thinning hair, and he got this long, stringy-ass ponytail. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I sing for Flock of Seagulls. I'm a singer." I was like, which I totally didn't recognize him, because, what you see on the video, he's got that funky-ass hair. Yeah, exactly. And so that was it. We played we just kind of bullshit about things,
Nice.
and it was kind of cool. The other time I was stationed in Japan, and this was 05-08 time frame, and of course a lot of coworkers, because we're all musicians, like, "Hey, we're gonna go see Wynton Marsalis, down there
wow.
in Yokohama." So I was like, "Yeah." So I went. I got a ticket. We all went, and one of the guys, Dwayne Simmons, he's a really cool sax player, and he's like, "Oh man, I know that guy. I went to school with that guy," because he's from Detroit. Dwayne was, and he was talking about not you, man, the other Dwayne.
Different Dwayne.
And yeah, exactly.
A cool Dwayne.
It's Dwayne, not a Dwayne.
But and so he was talking about all these people, and of course we got done watching the show, which was incredible, and we walked down. We were down in the front of the auditorium, and he saw one of the guys. He goes, "Hey man, what's going?" And Dwayne had to have his Michigan jacket on,
Yeah.
so it was a dead giveaway. He's a black guy, got a Michigan coat on. It's like, anyways, he's like, "Hey, where you guys hanging out at?" And he goes, "Oh, we're in the backstage. Come on out." So we went back there and met Wynton Marsalis. I got a picture with him and everything.
Nice.
Dude, you talking about the most down to earth type of guy. And it was cool to talk to him, because he actually looked you in, it wasn't like, "Oh yeah, you're just another person."
Yeah.
He actually looked you in the eye, and he was, he talked to you, and he was asking Dwayne, like, "Where are you from?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm from Detroit." And he's saying, he goes, "What high school did you go to?" And he said, and he goes, "Oh, I remember that." And he goes, "What was the teacher's name?" And it got down to that person. He knew, Wynton Marsalis knew the teacher that he was, taught him. And it was just like, he's a legit guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I think I'm about to ask Tommy, but I'm worried about the color that's going to be added to this because there's probably going to be some ugly shit. So Tommy, who was your run-in with anybody famous from the music
So
world?
there I was
Oh God, here we go.
in Vegas, midgets running amok. It's 3:00 in the morning. The party's been going on
Hurting
since
them.
3 the previous day.
Wrangling.
And there's a band that was hired that had some corporate singer types in it, and they're just fumble fucking around, and the boom, boom, boom on the door. I'm like, what? We're in the Elvis Presley Memorial Suite, so I get off at that time, it was not the stage, or it was not the bowling alley, it was the stage. Get off, go to the front door. Snatch the front door open, and it's Kid Rock. And he's looking at me and he goes, hey, homie, think you guys can keep it down? I'm like, well, no, not really, but you can come in here with us. He goes, oh, homie, come on, man. And I'm like, no, come on in. So
Kid Rock.
So I escort Kid Rock in and didn't know that Kid Rock was a percussionist. So he takes over the drums and starts drumming away, and we party on until the sun came up. And he gave me a high five and was gonna go out with it. I said, no, you gotta leave the midget here.
Everybody wants to steal your midgets.
Don't take the midget.
You know what? I don't know if
Those
you're a
were
good
bought-
midget wrangler or not because people want to steal your midgets.
Yeah. So,
No, but they had a
Great
different owner.
midgets.
What's that?
They had a different owner.
These are high quality midgets. That's what I'm saying.
they were.
They're in
You're
demand.
running the
San
mill,
Diego.
midget. It's not your back alley,
These are
midget.
San Diego midgets. They're in high demand.
It's like
These
the
are
other stories you
South
talk
Texas
about the
midgets.
midgets like you got it from a midget circus. You know, it's like
I had hot and cold running midgets.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. All right. Well, that was a good one.
Brothers